Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time, we're taking a close look at SpaceX and their ambitious plans for humanity's future on Mars.
Mars, huh?
Yeah, Mars. We've got a whole bunch of recent articles here,
Oh, wow.
and they paint a pretty fascinating picture of where SpaceX is now and where they're headed.
You know what really strikes me? SpaceX isn't just iterating on existing space technology.
Oh, yeah.
They're fundamentally shifting what's possible. It's about redefining space exploration and what it means for us, our species, to venture beyond Earth.
To Mars specifically.
To Mars.
Okay, so for anyone who needs a quick recap, SpaceX, Elon Musk's brainchild,
Right.
they burst onto the scene back in 2002 and totally disrupted the space industry. Reusable rockets, human spaceflight advancements, they've been at the forefront.
And they're not stopping there. Their recent successes prove that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the CRS-31 mission. Imagine a Falcon 9 rocket loaded with almost 6,000 pounds of supplies, docking with the International Space Station. That Dragon capsule is delivering essential resources to the astronauts up there.
It's incredible.
Everything they need to keep pushing the boundaries of human presence in space.
And we can't forget that unbelievable Super Heavy booster catch.
Oh, that's something else.
It's massive rocket booster. I mean, taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Seriously.
Comes back to Earth after launch,
Wow.
and instead of splashing down in the ocean, these giant mechanical arms on the launch tower just pluck it out of the sky.
It's like something out of a movie.
Straight out of science fiction. But it's real.
It is.
And it's key to making space travel more affordable or accessible. And that's crucial for SpaceX's long-term Mars vision.
Reusable rockets are absolutely essential for that. This innovation plays right into their ambitious 5-year plan.
So what's the plan?
Mars. Exploration and colonization. That's the focus.
They're not messing around. They're aiming to launch an uncrewed mission to Mars in 2026, followed by a crewed mission just 2 years later in 2028.
Now, those timelines are ambitious.
To say the least.
Landing humans on Mars and keeping them alive.
Right.
There's some huge technical challenges there. Life support, radiation shielding, figuring out how to use Martian resources. Everything has to be perfect.
It's mind-blowing.
It is.
And it really shows why SpaceX is constantly innovating, pushing those boundaries. But they're not just focused on getting to Mars. They're tackling global connectivity right here on Earth with Starlink.
Starlink's goal is huge. To provide internet access to every corner of the globe.
Everywhere.
No matter how remote. They're already making a difference, and they're taking it even further with direct-to-cell connectivity.
So you're saying your phone could connect directly to a Starlink satellite?
That's the idea.
No matter where you are.
Exactly.
No more dead zones.
Right.
That could revolutionize how we connect.
Absolutely.
Speaking of revolutionizing things, how about the world's first wooden satellite?
Lignosat. Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
But they're testing wood as a sustainable material for building structures in space, maybe even habitats on Mars.
Think about it. Transporting building materials to Mars, it'd be incredibly expensive.
Right.
And logistically, a nightmare. But if we could use resources found on Mars, like wood...
That's a game changer.
A total game changer.
It shows that SpaceX is thinking long-term.
Long-term.
Not just getting to Mars, but how we live there sustainably. But with any big endeavor like this,
There are going to be challenges.
there are challenges. NASA, for example, has voiced some concerns
Oh, really?
about SpaceX's rapid pace of innovation
Oh, I see.
and the potential risks that come with it.
Space exploration, it's inherently risky. No way around it.
Exactly.
But as SpaceX pushes the envelope, it's a balancing act. Progress and safety.
Absolutely crucial to find that balance.
Crucial. Then there's geopolitics.
Yeah.
SpaceX just asked some of their Taiwanese suppliers to relocate, because of political uncertainties.
It highlights how global events can affect even something as futuristic as space exploration. It's all connected, huh?
It is. Global supply chains, political risks, they all play a part.
So we've got these incredible advancements, these ambitious goals, and some very real challenges. But let's get back to the core of it all, Mars. What will it actually take to build a self-sustaining city on another planet?
A city where humans can not only survive, but actually thrive.
Thrive.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
We're talking about creating a closed-loop ecosystem where everything, food production, waste management, is carefully designed.
Right.
And then there's the human element, the psychological and social aspects of living on Mars. Millions of miles from Earth.
Right.
How do we create a sense of community,
Yeah.
a sense of purpose, of belonging on Mars?
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
But SpaceX They seem determined to make it happen. They're taking this giant leap for humankind.
One step at a time, step by step, innovation by innovation. I have to ask, what do you think all of this means for you? What questions does this raise for you about humanity's future? In space, on Mars specifically.
It really makes you think. Yeah, it really is a monumental undertaking, no question. But that seems to be what drives SpaceX, right? Tackling these seemingly impossible challenges head on.
I mean, it's like they're rewriting the rules of space exploration.
Totally. And they're doing it with this really interesting blend of big vision and like practical problem solving.
Oh, absolutely. Like their Starship program.
Yeah.
This massive, fully reusable spacecraft.
Uh-huh.
It's designed to carry both crew and cargo to Mars. And it just looks completely different from any other spacecraft we've ever seen.
It is a radical departure, but it comes from a very practical need.
What's that?
If you want to build a city on Mars, you need a reliable and cost-effective way to get people and supplies there.
Makes sense.
Starship is designed to do exactly that.
It's like they looked at the problem and said, okay, rockets are expensive. Let's make one that we can just use over and over again.
Yep.
Like a commercial airliner.
Exactly, and not just one-way trips either.
What do you mean?
Starship is designed to be refueled in space,
Whoa.
which is essential for a sustainable presence on Mars.
I see.
Imagine a fleet of starships going back and forth between Earth and Mars, carrying everything from construction materials to scientific equipment to the people who will be building this new Martian society.
That's wild when you think about the scale of this operation.
It's huge.
And the challenges. I mean, we're talking about creating a completely self-sufficient habitat on a planet with a thin atmosphere.
Right.
No liquid water on the surface at temperatures that would make Antarctica feel like a tropical paradise.
It's a challenge for sure.
Where do you even begin to solve a problem like that?
Well, like any complex project, you break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. And SpaceX is already making progress. For example, they're testing propellant production technologies on Mars.
So they're making rocket fuel on Mars.
Yeah, using resources found on Mars itself to create the fuel so they don't have to transport it from Earth for return trips.
Yeah. So they're not just building a spacecraft, they're laying the groundwork for a whole Martian ecosystem.
Exactly.
Where we can not only survive, but actually thrive.
Yeah, it's like they're taking a cue from nature, trying to replicate that interconnectedness of life, but on another planet.
That's a great point. And it's important to remember that this isn't just about technology, right? It's about understanding the human element as well.
No, absolutely. Sending humans to Mars is one thing, but making sure they stay healthy mentally and socially during a years-long mission.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other challenge.
It makes you wonder, what would life on Mars really be like? What would a Martian society look like? I mean, would they follow the same rules as Earth, or would they create something totally new?
It's fascinating to think about, would a Martian colony be a mirror image of Earth? Or would it evolve in its own unique direction?
Yeah.
Would we see new forms of government, new social structures, new ways of life? It's something philosophers and science fiction writers have been exploring for decades.
Right, and now it's becoming a reality.
Exactly, and it has real-world implications for how we design and plan for a future on Mars.
I see what you mean.
Everything from the layout of the habitats to the social dynamics of the community will need careful consideration.
It's like designing a whole new world from scratch.
It is.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting all at the same time.
I agree, and it's not just about SpaceX either. This is a global endeavor.
Oh, for sure.
It will require collaboration and cooperation from countries all over the world.
It's bigger than any one company or country. It's about humanity taking its next giant leap.
Exactly. And as we take that leap, we need to do it responsibly.
What do you mean?
We need to think about the ethical implications of what we're doing and make sure that we're exploring Mars in a sustainable and respectful way.
Right. We have a responsibility to learn from the mistakes we've made on Earth and create a better future on Mars.
It's a delicate balance between our desire to explore and the need to preserve, but finding that balance is essential for the long-term success of any Martian settlement.
I think it's that blend of ambition, innovation, and responsibility that makes this whole endeavor so captivating.
Yeah.
It's pushing us to ask some really fundamental questions about what it means to be human,
Right.
to explore, to create, and to ensure the future of our species.
And it's a story that's still being written.
So what do you think, listeners? Are you ready to be a part of this unfolding saga? Are you ready to contribute to humanity's next great adventure to Mars and beyond? We've talked about the tech, the logistics, the sheer audacity of it all. But I think there's a bigger question here.
Yeah.
Why Mars? Why are we so obsessed with this red planet, with building a new home for humanity millions of miles away?
It's a question that's been around for centuries, right?
Yeah.
Is it about survival? Having a backup plan if something happens to Earth?
Right.
Or is it that human need to explore, to push the boundaries, to find new frontiers?
I get that.
Or maybe it's something deeper, a need to understand our place in the cosmos.
It's like we've explored every inch of our own planet.
Yeah.
And now we're looking up, wanting more. Mars represents this whole new world of possibilities.
Yeah.
A chance to start over, build a society that reflects our best selves.
And with each step we take, we're learning not just about the universe, but about ourselves.
Yeah.
Space exploration, a mission like Mars colonization, it puts things in perspective, reminds us of our shared humanity, our responsibility to each other and to this planet.
It's humbling for sure, but it's also exciting to think about the scientific discoveries waiting for us on Mars.
Totally.
The possibility of finding evidence of past life.
Maybe even present life.
The secrets locked away in those ancient rocks, the insights into how planets form and evolve. It's a treasure trove of knowledge just waiting to be unlocked.
And it's not just about science either.
Oh, right.
Imagine the cultural exchange between Earth and a Martian colony.
Yeah.
The blending of ideas and perspectives, the art, the music, the literature that could come from this fusion of cultures.
That's fascinating.
It could enrich human civilization as a whole.
It's almost too much to think about all the possibilities we're entering. Uncharted territory, literally and figuratively. Writing a new chapter in the human story, a chapter about ingenuity, resilience, and that never-ending spirit of exploration.
And you, our listeners, you're witnessing this incredible moment in history.
Wow.
We're on the verge of becoming a multiplanetary species.
That's incredible.
And the decisions we make today, they'll shape the future of humanity for generations to come.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into SpaceX and the journey to Mars,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this. What role will you play in this unfolding story? Will you watch from the sidelines as history is made?
Right.
Or will you be an active participant, contributing your skills, your passion, your ideas to this grand endeavor?
It's up to you, but whatever path you choose, embrace the wonder and the challenge of this extraordinary moment, the future of humanity on Mars. It's not set in stone. It's being written right now.
Right now.
And each one of us has a part to play.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you leave inspired, informed, and ready to contribute to the next chapter of our journey as a species. Until next time, keep looking up Pasuago.